What happens when the biggest names in the trucking, OOIDA, the Teamsters, and the ATA, stand shoulder to shoulder on Capitol Hill? Unity? Hmm. Or a corporate backroom deal that leaves everyday truckers behind? This just happened. The leaders of these three most powerful organizations in the trucking world shared the stage and made a joint public announcement. And the trucking industry has not stopped buzzing since. You've got Teamsters president Shan OBrien, OOIDA's Louis Pugh, and the ATA all weighing in together on the future of trucking. The result? Total chaos in the industry. Forums lit up, drivers are furious, and now everyone's asking, did they just betray the working class trucker? Here's what we know. OOIDA represents over 150,000 small business truckers and owner-operators. Their stance has always been clear. No to speed limiters, no to mandates, yes to driver autonomy. They fight for the little guy, the independent hauler who owns their truck and wants to stay free. The Teamsters are old school, over 1.2 million workers strong. Their power comes from solidarity, union contracts, and fighting corporate abuse. And the ATA? That's the American Trucking Association. Big fleet operators, industry lobbyists, and some of the largest players in the game. These three rarely agree. But this time, they came together for a joint testimony before the U.S. Senate. In that testimony, Louis Pugh called for the most pro-trucker, pro-safety highway legislation in decades. Shan OBrien denounced automated trucks as a direct threat to American jobs. 88 voiced support for safety, tech, and modernization, pushing for a future that includes driver assist systems and automation. And yet, they were all on the same side of the room. So, what's going on here? Drivers took to the internet fast. Reddit forums, Facebook groups, trucking blogs, they exploded. Some called it betrayal. Others called it strategy. One Reddit post wrote, Shan OBrien betrayed us. Giving a speech at the Republican National Convention? What a joke. Another said, OOIDA is getting too close to the same people pushing ELDs and AI trucks. That's not why I pay dues. And yet, a few took a different view. If you're not in the room, you're not part of the conversation. These guys are trying to stop the bleeding before it's too late. But let's dig deeper. At the center of this entire controversy is one issue: speed limiters. The ATA wants speed governors typically set between 65 and 70 miles per hour, especially for trucks with safety tech on board. OOIDA calls this outright dangerous. They argue that limiting trucks creates dangerous speed differentials, clogs traffic, and increases accident risk. The Teamsters have been less vocal recently, but they've signed past letters demanding a 60 mile per hour speed cap, far lower than the most drivers would ever tolerate. Imagine this: you're hauling time-sensitive freight across flat land at 74 miles per hour. Suddenly, you're boxed in between fleets capped at 62. You can't pass. You can't maneuver. It's a moving bottleneck, and that's where the crashes happen. Drivers on the ground say speed limiters create more stress, more fatigue, and more risk, not less. But that's not the only issue on the table. Shan OBrien made headlines and sparked outrage by speaking at the Republican National Convention. Excuse me. The first union leader in U.S. history to do so. He did not hold back. He called out corporate greed. He challenged billionaires. He asked Republicans to prove their loyalty to the working class. But the backlash was instant. One union member wrote, he gave the GOP a union badge of approval. Another one called him a class traitor. Whether you believe he was doing bold outreach or standing on the wrong stage, one thing's clear: the divide is real. Meanwhile, automation is creeping into the trucking world faster than most realize. Self-driving trucks tests are underway in Texas, Arizona, and California. Some fleets are already testing autonomous runs with backup drivers on board. The Teamsters say this will gut union jobs. OOIDA says it's dangerous and reckless. The ATA says it's innovation. Layoffs are already happening. Ruan Transport just cut 144 jobs after losing a Kroger contract in Arizona. Yellow Corporation filed for bankruptcy, wiping out 30,000 union jobs. FedEx and J.B. Hunt are restructuring. AI logistics are replacing human dispatchers. What's really going on? Are these joint appearances about protecting jobs and unifying the industry? Or are they just another smoke and mirrors campaign while the FMCSA and big fleets rewrite the rulebook behind closed doors? Some say this is the only way to survive, partnering with political leaders on both sides and staying in the conversation. Others say it's just more politics while drivers lose control of their future. So here's the big question. Did OOIDA and the Teamsters just sell out? Or are they playing the long game? Is Shan OBrien reaching across the aisle for progress or dragging the union movement into the political grinder? And are speed limiters, ELDs, and automation really about safety or just control? Truckers across the country are watching closely. Some feel abandoned, others are cautiously hopeful. But one thing's certain, the trucking world is changing fast, and not everyone's going to survive this shift. Comment below. Do you think this alliance is a smart strategy or betrayal of the working class? Like this video if you believe truckers deserve a seat at the table. Subscribe for updates on the FMCSA, speed limiter bills, and union politics as this all unfolds. Because this conversation is far from over, and I'll be here, keeping the pedal down and the truth rolling. See you next time. Bye-bye.